This has to be the best Wi-Fi double socket I've come across so far. Not only can you control the sockets on here, so clicking there, you can see the lamp come on in the background, but you can control the USB as well. So check this out. There you go, charging my phone and turn it off again. It's excellent functionality from this. Hi guys, they were taking a look at a smart Wi-Fi double socket with USB. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. So this is a tuya based product, so it works with the tuya and Smart Life app. Wi-Fi based, only works on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So we'll be setting it up, testing it out, and see how it performs. But initially, let's begin by unboxing it and showing what you get in the packaging. You get a set of instructions, all in English. Get some screws for attaching on a back box. And finally, the double socket. So it comes in a glossy white finish all the way around here. There's only one color to this, and the screws are hidden on this, so you can't see them at the side. 2 USB points in the middle, buttons to turn it on and off, and LED indicators on either side. The depth comes in at 3 centimeters, so something to keep in mind if you do get it, in case you do have to change the back box. But I'll include a card in the corner if you want to see how to do that, so check that out. On the back, you've got some details over here and the connection points. The plate can be removed quite easily by hand, so if I pull it off, it just comes away easily. You can see the 2 holes there for screwing it. It's got arrows indicating the direction to install it. This is a socket I'll be replacing. I'll briefly show how to do this, but essentially it's just a matter of turning off the power on your consumer unit, checking the power is off on this, and then just doing a replacement. Now, if you're not confident with electrics, do not attempt this. Best just to get an electrician in, because if you don't know what you're doing, it's best not to risk anything. I've turned the power off at the consumer unit, got a little tester here, no lights are coming on. This confirms there's no power going in here. So now if I remove the socket, take out the existing cables, now we can connect up our new socket. So the yellow and green goes to ground, line goes to brown, and neutral goes to blue. My back box here is 3.5 centimeters. The wires are attached on this. Now, a slight criticism is the fact the wires go directly into the back of there. There's no slope on here. So when you put it onto the back box, it is quite a tight squeeze if your back box isn't that deep. But let me attach it on now. The socket's been installed now, and I've left a slight gap only because it's such a tight squeeze to get it in there. So it's a good idea to get a deep back box for this. I've turned the power back on. Let me put my tester in there. And you can see when the indicator light's red, all the lights are on, meaning power's going to the socket there. Now if I turn it off, this is the interesting thing about this one. When you turn the power off, only the neutral connection's cut. And that's what's confirmed by this. Let's make a start at setting this up. So coming over to my Android phone, the app we're after from the Play Store is Smart Life or Tuya. I'm using the Smart Life app, so that's what we're going to configure it on. So if I open it up, that's what you're initially presented with. You can see all the other smart items I have. And to add this in, very easy. Click on the plus. We'll select socket Wi-Fi. It's just confirming here only 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi supported. So next to that. And we need to get the LED over here into a flashing state. So first of all, if I just press this button here once, flashing already. If it's not, you can just hold on to the button for a few seconds and that will reset it and get it flashing again. So we're okay here. So next to this, next again, and we confirm it's rapidly blinking. Let's give it a moment. There you go, it's added in, as simple as that. So done to that. And let's go back from there. And this is how it's shown on the interface. So no shortcut buttons on the device. Clicking in there, going to settings, standard stuff for Smart Life apps. You can rename it, check out device info. You can see any automation tasks you've got set up for it. Third-party controls it works with. So voice controls available with the Amazon and Google devices. You can get notification if it goes offline, share it with other people, and group it as well to group multiple sockets together. Back from here, now looking at the interface you have here, if I press on the socket on the left-hand side, you can see it comes on. Now if I click on the button there, nothing happens. And if I click on the USB, that can be powered off, powered on again, and the right-hand socket, same functionality on there as well. So it's just pressing the part you want to turn on and off. Below that, you can rename the different switches, and simple as just clicking there and put your name you wanted in there. Then looking below, then you've got a schedule, standard stuff you get with Tuya devices. So clicking on there, you can add in your timer 24/7, 7 days a week. Clicking on there, you can have it going off once or on any of those days. You can put a note against it, get a notification when it goes off, and the action you want to perform on it. Now, what's really good about this one, obviously the two sockets are covered, but the USB is also covered. And other devices don't have that sort of functionality. Normally the USB is constantly on. So this is one of the best features available, being able to control this. And that probably explains why the back of it is so large. It probably has a large transformer and additional circuitry to control that. Same functionality is available on this as well. Back from here, back again, and looking at countdown. So you can set a countdown for all three. So really useful functionality on here. So for example, you could have your mobile phone plugged into there, set your timer, and it will turn off after a certain period. And again, the two sockets will be free for you to use. Let me test out the functionality with the double socket. So I've got a plug here and the other end has a bulb on there. So if I plug that in, you can see obviously green lights are there, and press it, red comes on and the bulb turns on down below. Now with the USB, if I plug in a USB cable, and the other end, if I plug into my mobile, you can see it's charging now, and dropping that down. You can see charging time 1 hour, 19 minutes till full. And then looking in the corner, you can see it's charging as well. And if I click the USB, there you go, stops charging. So this is so useful to have. As I've said, you could have your phone charging up and the power's controllable on that. And you've got the two sockets as well, obviously, for using with other items. Now, dropping this down, turning off my Wi-Fi. Now it's on 4G. Let's turn on the USB. There you go. It's come on. So you can remotely turn it on and off, and then clicking the socket, there you go, that's controllable as well. So standard functionality here, but the advantage with this one is over a standard socket, you don't have to ensure the switch is turned on because you can remotely control that switch. Next, let me show you the smart functionality available. So clicking on smart, you've got automation and tap to run. So clicking on the plus. So we will go for when a device status changes, select the device, and this is the smart functionality available. So if I go for the socket first of all, on and off only, same for the USB, and then you've got countdown timers for each one. So back from here, and for the USB one, same thing again. So in this instance, what I'll do, I'll select the socket USB, and when it's turned on, what we'll do for the device, we'll set a countdown. And in this instance, just for testing purposes, I'll set it to 5 seconds. So if I save that next to that, and this is the smart action here. So saving that, start using it straight away. So now if I go into device and we turn it on, USB is charging my phone now, give it 5 seconds and it turns off. How cool is that? Really, because then you can just set your default timer. So you know when you're gonna plug in your phone, you can set it for a certain period and it will just automatically turn off after that period. No messing around, going back to your phone or even going back onto the app to set a countdown timer. Excellent functionality. Only criticism I have about this, if I go back into it, going on to countdown, it's only in seconds. So it's a bit irritating. So it'd be nice if you can flip between seconds, minutes, or even hours to quickly navigate to what you want. But not the end of the world, good functionality regardless, and it's not the fault of the device itself. It's just how Tuya and Smart Life have done this. But you've seen for yourself, excellent smart functionality available on this. Let me briefly show the functionality you have available on the Google and Amazon side of things. So you can do voice control on this. So let's look at the Amazon side first. So clicking on that. The skill you're after is Smart Life. And if I go to devices, plugs, scroll down. Now with this, you've got the name of the device, TBU02. I can rename this, but if I press that, you can see my phone's charging, lights turned on now, and clicking it again turns everything off. So it's a complete on and complete off for that. And you also have the individual devices as well. So looking here, socket switch 1, there you go, controls the first one, then controls the second one, and socket USB. That's charging my phone now. So excellent functionality on the Amazon side. Everything can be controlled or individual items. Now coming out of this, on the Google side, similar thing. The service you want to add in is Smart Life. Coming back from here, same again, you've got a device for everything. So from here, you can turn everything on and everything off, and then back again. And looking here, you've got each socket and each USB as well going in there. That's all the functionality you have. Let's do the one with the light, and then finally the USB. There you go. So similar functionality on both, and obviously voice control is available for each of the devices as well. So excellent functionality on this. So in summary, really impressed with this Wi-Fi double smart socket. Functionality is great on here. You can control obviously each of the sockets, which is expected, but I love the fact you can control the USB on this, and this hasn't been available on other devices, so it's great to see in action. You've got smart functionality on here as well, so you can integrate with different smart rules, but obviously keep in mind that if you do use the smart rules and your Wi-Fi goes down, those rules aren't going to work then. So it is reliant on Wi-Fi. You could go over to local control by using something like Home Assistant. Negatives wise, I didn't like the thickness of this. Obviously it's really chunky. It comes in at 3 centimeters deep. So if you haven't got a deep back box, you may have to get that replaced. I didn't like the color options on the LEDs. So personally, green should be for on and red should be for off. And it would have been nice to have a light indicator for the USB as well, letting you know it's on or off. I felt a little bit uncomfortable when I tested this with my tester that only neutral has been cut. So in the off position, live are still active on this. Personally, I think the whole socket should be cut off. So there you have it. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. If you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon to be notified of my next release. Drop me a comment what you thought about this double socket and smash that like button as it really helps the channel out. Thanks for viewing and see you in the next one.